Byron gets his first Darlington win, the 15th for Hendrick Motorsports, led only 7 laps. Denny Hamlin led some laps in a cycle of green flag pit stops. Larson up there. We'll talk about his day later on. Ross Chastain had a run-in with Larson. He, too, led a bunch of laps, won a stage. Martin Truex Jr. led the most laps of anyone, won stage 1. Here's what I was referring to when it comes to Ross Chastain and his stage victory, closing in on the green and white checkered at the end of stage 2, and here comes Martin Truex Jr. trying to take it away from him.
Yeah, Martin says, hey, if you're going to check up a little bit, I'm going to fill that gap and try to get this stage win. It appeared that Ross was checking up ever so slightly to maybe give his teammate Daniel Suarez a little bit of a break, but they collided, and he was able to turn around and still finish 10th at him in the second stage.
If you ever wondered how important winning stages and getting those stage and playoff points is, I think we just saw it right there from Martin Truex Jr.
Yeah, I mean, obviously a lot of pressure. You know, Martin was trying to get that, stage win. Definitely didn't want to lose stage points. But, I mean, man, what that first stat showed us is don't lead a lot of laps at Darlington, because if you lead the most laps, you're going to finish the worst of all of them. You lead the least laps, you win the race. But, yeah, I mean, obviously Martin going up there and trying to get that stage win kind of bit him there. But, hey, giving it all he had. And, I think he could have got it if he hadn't got it whacked.
That's right. I saw someone on social media say, as soon as that happened, okay, go ahead. Just blame it on Ross, right? Because everything seems these days to get blamed on Ross Chastain. And maybe there's a better foundation for the blame. 6 laps to go, front row, it's all on the line. You see Ross inside of Kyle Larson. There is contact. And it's what everybody's talking about today. Larson pushing the 1. And after it was over, Larson said, I'm good. I'm going to exit stage left, not talk to the media. He'll be on the show with us later. Here's Ross Chastain with Regan Smith breaking it down.
Full commit into 1. I got really tight and drove up and turned myself. I wanted to squeeze him. I wanted to push him up. We had been trading it back and forth all day, and I wanted to push him up for sure, but definitely didn't want to turn myself in the wall.
Chastain finishes deep in the field. He is still the overall points leader. Larson comes home 20th. We'll get Kyle's version of all this later in the show when he joins us in studio. What did you see here, Dave?
Yeah, it was a common theme that the car on the inside was getting tight as they throttled back up in the center of turns 1 and 2. Martin Truex Jr. said the same thing when he crowded Joey Logano, and Ross admitted it, that, hey, I'm going to squeeze Kyle. Ross was the control car. He was going to try to get that advantage off of turn 2, which is so critical. But it appears that Kyle rolled out of the throttle ever so slightly, maybe going to turn across his back bumper. But, he just misjudged. And I'm sure if he had another chance to do it, he probably would make a different decision, because he took away a chance to race for a win or even a top 5 finish and had a torn up race car.
Kyle Larson's teammate William Byron gets the win. So car owner Rick Hendrick is in the media center after the race, and the media asked him about what happened between Larson and Ross Chastain. Here you go.
I think you can ask any driver in here that he's wrecked. I've been involved with him. He doesn't have to be that aggressive. And I guess at this point in the race, maybe you're super aggressive, but you just don't run people up in the fence. He's going to make a lot of enemies. It's hard to win a championship when you got a lot of paybacks out there. It's really getting old with these guys. Senior told me one time, he said, he's got all the talent. He just doesn't know how to race. And meaning he just knows when to race, when to push it. I don't care. And I've told Chevrolet that. If you wreck us, you're going to get it back. If you don't do it, they'll run all over you. When somebody runs over us, then I expect my guys to hold their ground.
Powerful comments from Rick Hendrick yesterday evening in Darlington, Bobby.
Yeah, when Rick Hendrick speaks, I think everybody listens, and for sure, I believe for Ross, we want him to be aggressive. I mean, he is aggressive, but, there's probably a line that's, in the sand somewhere that's like, okay, that's too much. And what Rick's talking about there, I think, in my opinion, a little bit of it is just the fact that, you get to the point where you're just doing it week in and week out, and you're getting in somebody's way or doing that too much stuff, is going to be detrimental for you later on. And I think Rick knows who's going to win a championship and who's not going to win a championship, because he's seen all these champions, Ross has got so much talent. He can do this, you know. I mean, so it's just a matter of finding that line he needs to play in.
Yeah, Ross has the talent and he has the speed in his race cars, Bobby, and that's what is so important. Sometimes you don't have to have that level of aggression, Adam, when you do have the amount of speed that Trackhouse has in those Chevrolets. But I do agree with Rick. At some point, you're going to cross that line and you're going to have more enemies than friends, and that's a tough spot to be in.
When does it end? Does it end? And what is the overall impact for Ross Chastain? Hey, race fans, thanks for watching our video. For all NASCAR on Fox News, content, and the best clips from Fox Sports, be sure to follow and subscribe to our channel.